feature, and that came out of somebody, I can't remember who was it mentioned, used to open up
An architecture and urbanism practice based right next to one of the city's most prominent peace lines, and as such it's never far from our minds, it's never far from our thoughts, and we feel there has been a lack of sort of architecture and urbanism based approach. There's a need for the walls to be tackled directly and the spaces around them to be tackled directly in parallel to the community relations work that's going on. This is our home city, this is where we live, this is where we raise families, and this is where our futures are. Our futures are bound up with the future of this city. The perfect outcome would probably be a transformation of a piece of peace line or a piece of interface to become something that, or to change into from something that is negatively charged to having some positive influence, a positively charged space that benefited the immediate residents of that locality on both sides of the divide.
Who would listen to us?
Kids council.
No one ever.
The absolute minimum that we'll get out of this project is a group of young people who live under the sort of shadow of some of these walls and some of these blighted spaces, coming together to discuss them directly, to have a slightly changed perception of what the walls are, to see them less as immovable, limiting, fixed elements. There seems to be a naivety about taking down a wall will fix a divide, but the streetscape has over many decades distorted around these walls, and the removal of the walls themselves will not remove the disconnected streetscape that now exists around them. By taking a peace line, a particular or a random section peace line, and starting to actually physically dismantle it via the workshops, there is a process of removing that inhibition, removing that kind of immovable nature of the wall into something that can easily be taken down and can and to start to think about what can replace it.
Well, I'd be frightened, but I wouldn't feel safe either.
Barriers exist both physically and mentally. You're engaging with children here at 12 years of age, and it was sad to hear that at 12 years there was already a mindset that the walls had to remain. Fear of what was on the other side of the wall. Turn these component elements into positive elements such as kiosks, men's sheds.
How will the streetscape be reconnected? That's what's been missing from the discussion. And the only way to tackle that issue, the only way to address that is via architecture and urbanism. So this project has been a vehicle to develop that idea of tackling a section of wall directly by dismantling it, by reassembling it. That process, doing it with kids, working with kids to do it, it takes away the inhibition around the wall, it takes away the notion of the wall as a permanent, immovable, untouchable, fearful structure. These structures have the effect of raising tensions, of actually heightening the feelings and fears around these parts of our streetscape. Our initial submission was a direct intervention in a particular piece of wall, but via the workshops with local kids, this project has developed into a wider idea, and we see now this as like a pilot for what might happen at different sort of specific locations around the city.
I would actually never leave this place.